Welcome, not to a normal video, not to another feel-good speech that will fade from your mind the moment you close this tab. You've heard enough of those already. This is different, because this is not entertainment. This is a warning, a message your future self has been screaming at you for years. But you haven't been listening. Look around you. Every second right now, someone else is taking the job you wanted, building the business you dreamed of, or living the life you've been fantasizing about for years. And you're still thinking about starting soon. But here's the truth no one says out loud. Life is not waiting for you. It doesn't care about your comfort, your fears, or your excuses. It doesn't stop moving because you're not ready. Every day you waste, someone else is taking your place. You keep saying one day, but one day is not on the calendar. There is no perfect moment coming. There's only now. And if you keep waiting for some magical time where you feel motivated, confident, and prepared, you will wait until you die. This is not a video you save for later. Later is how people bury their dreams alive. This is the moment where you stop watching your life from the sidelines and start rewriting it. If you don't, 10 years from now, you'll wish you had. So here are 10 brutal, life-changing truths that will either wake you up or expose you as someone who will never change. And the first truth might be the slap you've been avoiding your whole life. And yes, this video will also make your English stronger while it changes your life. Because as you listen, you'll not only learn powerful life lessons, you'll hear clear, simple English that stays in your mind. And every truth you hear will push you closer to the life you should already be living. Truth 1. It's now or never. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you're waiting for the right time. There is no right time. There is no green light from the universe. Every second you delay is a second you will never get back. Think about this. How many times in your life have you said, "I'll start when the timing is better. I'll start after the new year. I'll start when I'm not so busy." And then months passed. Years passed. You didn't start. You thought you had time, but you didn't. The truth? You're not out of time yet, but you are running out. Imagine you're standing on train tracks. You see a train in the distance. It's moving slow. You think you have time. So you keep standing there. And in a blink, it's right in front of you. And it's too late to move. That train is your life. Every dream you have is that train. It's getting closer whether you move or not. I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to threaten the version of you that keeps wasting days like they're infinite. Because they're not. Your days are numbered. Every hour that passes is gone forever. And if you don't start now, not tomorrow, not next week, but now, you are killing your own future. You might think, "But I'm not ready." Let me be clear, you will never feel ready. Readiness is a myth lazy people tell themselves to justify delay. The truth is, you become ready by starting. You build the skill, the discipline, the courage. In motion, not in waiting. So here's your choice. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Or do nothing, and let your future self hate you for the rest of your life. And when I say do something, I mean pick one thing, and act before this day ends. Send the email, sign up for the class, go to the gym, apply for the job, call the person, start the habit. If you don't, then be honest with yourself. You don't want change. You want comfort. and comfort is the slowest, quietest way to die. Truth 2. You must be obsessed. Listen to me. If your dream doesn't consume you, it will never become reality. If you can live without it, you will live without it. That's the truth. Interest is weak, motivation fades, inspiration dies. Only obsession, pure, unshakable, all-consuming obsession, survives the days when you feel like quitting. Obsession is what makes you show up when your body aches, when your mind says skip it, when the world is laughing at you. I'm not talking about wishing. I'm not talking about trying. I'm talking about burning the bridge back to the old you. No safety net, no plan B, no if it works. It will work, because you refuse to give it another outcome. There's a story about a warrior who took his army across the sea to fight an enemy 10 times their size. When they landed, his soldiers saw the enemy and began to panic. They said, "We can't win. We should retreat." The warrior gave the order, "Burn the ships." His men screamed, "If we burn the ships, we have no way home." And he said, "Exactly. Now we win, or we die here." Do you understand what that means? It means there was no escape. It means every man fought with the desperation of someone who knows failure equals death. And they won. Not because they were stronger, not because they were more skilled, but because there was no other option. That's obsession. When you burn the ships in your life, delete the distractions, cut the easy exits, stop keeping backup plans that let you run away. You fight differently. You think differently. You live differently. If you're still trying, you haven't burned the ships. If you're still waiting for the perfect moment, you haven't burned the ships. If you're still half in and half out, doing your dream on the side while you give your real time and energy to comfort, you haven't burned the ships. You must make your dream the thing you cannot live without. Wake up thinking about it. Go to bed planning it. Make it so deep in your identity that skipping it feels like cutting off your own oxygen. When you're obsessed, you don't need motivation. You are motivation. People will look at you and call you crazy. Good. That's proof you're on the right path. Because the life you want will always look crazy to the people who gave up on theirs. Here's my warning. If you are not obsessed, someone else is. And they will take the job you wanted, the business you wanted, the future you wanted, while you keep saying someday. So make the choice now. Not to try harder, not to get motivated, but to become the kind of person who burns the ships and never ever looks back. Because if you can walk away from your dream, it was never yours to begin with. Truth 3. The power of purpose. Find your why. Listen closely. Motivation is a spark. Purpose is the fire. Motivation gets you out of bed once. Purpose keeps you moving when your legs shake, your mind screams, and the world throws bricks at your face. If your why is weak, you will quit. If your why is strong, you will become unbreakable. You say you want a new life. Good. Then answer this. Who are you doing it for, and what pain are you done tolerating? Not a cute answer, not a pretty quote. The real answer, the one that makes your chest heavy and your eyes wet. The one that hurts to say out loud. I am not here to pat your back. I am here to turn your reason into a weapon. Because life will test you. Hard. Your plan will fail. Your body will get tired. People will doubt you. Money will run short. And in that hour, you will either have a purpose or an excuse. There is no middle. Imagine, a young nurse works night shifts, long corridors, cold light, crying families. She comes home when the sky is still dark. There's a note on the fridge from the landlord. There's a message from the bank. There's a pair of tiny shoes by the door. Her little boy wakes up and asks one question. Mom, are we going to be okay? That sentence becomes her why. Not likes, not applause, not someday. Mom, are we going to be okay? Now watch what purpose does to a human being. She studies on her lunch breaks. She drinks cold coffee she didn't plan to drink. She turns off every distraction. She says no to weekend parties and yes to textbooks and training. She is not superhuman. She is not always motivated. She is purpose-powered. When the alarm rings and she wants to cry, she sees the tiny shoes by the door. That is her lighthouse. That is her anchor. That is her oxygen. Months later, she passes the exam. Pay increases. Debt begins to die. The landlord's tone changes. She buys a used car that starts every morning. She still feels tired, but she feels proud. Because she did not push through for fun. She pushed through for a reason. And every time life asks, "Why are you doing this?" she answers, "Because a little voice asked if we're going to be okay, and I will make sure the answer is yes." That is purpose. You cannot compete with someone like that. You cannot stop someone like that. They don't need motivation. They have a mission. Purpose is not a slogan. It is not a vision board you forget next week. Purpose is a decision that becomes a duty that becomes your default. It is the reason you keep your promise on days that feel impossible. It is the line you will not cross and the standard you will not drop. Purpose is fuel. When energy is low, purpose burns. Purpose is a map. When you get lost, purpose points. Purpose is armor. When you are attacked, purpose covers your heart. If your why is vague, your life will be vague. Be happier. Vague. Be rich. Vague. Make them proud. Who? Why? By when? With what actions? Vague purpose creates vague effort. Vague effort creates vague results. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a sharp reason. Say it clearly. Say it simply. Say it like this. I will change my life so my family is safe, my mind is strong, and my work matters. Then tie that sentence to today's actions. Not next year. Today. Because a purpose you cannot act on today is a story, not a strategy. How to pull your why out of your chest. Close the door. Sit with a blank page. No music, no phone. Write 3 short lines. Bleed truth, not poetry. 1. Pain I refuse to live with. Name it. Debt, weak body, fear, shame. Second person. I'm doing this for, name them. Yourself, 10 years from now counts. Third promise I will keep today. 1 action. Small but real. That's it. Not 1,000 goals. Not 100 tasks. 1 clear promise that proves your purpose is active today. What to do when your feelings lie to you? They will. Your feelings will say, skip it. Your feelings will say, tomorrow. Your purpose must answer faster. When the mind starts bargaining, speak out loud, firm, simple, final. My why matters more than my mood. I move now. Stand up, do the smallest real step, open the document, put on shoes, press record, begin. Action before emotion, purpose before comfort. Always. If your why doesn't shake you, it won't carry you. If your why doesn't make you feel a little afraid of failing it won't move you when you're exhausted. Pick a why that makes quitting feel shameful. Pick a why that makes discipline feel sacred. Look at the nurse again. She did not chase a fantasy. She chased a promise. That is the secret. Purpose is a promise you refuse to break. Stop collecting inspirational quotes. Stop hunting for the perfect why. Your life is already telling you where it hurts. Start there. What keeps you awake? What repeats in your head when you shower? What memory stings when you're alone? That is your compass. That is your raw material. Forge it into a sentence, then into a schedule, then into results. People will call you obsessed, boring, extreme. Smile. Keep working. Purpose is not a group project. Purpose is a private contract. Let your results do the talking later. Let your calendar do the talking now. Say, I am done negotiating with my weakness. I am done letting comfort run my day. I move for my reason, not my mood. I will not break this promise. Say it with a calm voice. Then prove it with one action today. If your why is weak, life will beat you. Not because you are not smart, not because you are not talented, because without purpose, resistance wins, distraction wins, tired wins, busy wins. And 10 years will vanish while you nod along to motivational videos and never change. If your why is strong, you will be dangerous. You will be calm when others panic. You will be steady when others brag and disappear. You will look lucky, but it won't be luck. It will be clarity. Your next breath decides the rest. Do you keep living on accident, or do you live on purpose? Write the 3 lines. Do the one action. Not tomorrow. Now, because the world is not moved by your plan. The world is moved by your reason, proved by your action. And when life asks you, why are you doing this? You will not give a speech. You will point to the work you did today, and your life will answer for you. Truth 4. The power of focus. Listen to me. Focus is not just paying attention. Focus is war. Every minute, something is trying to steal your mind, your time, your energy. And most people hand it over like it's worthless. If you cannot protect your focus, you cannot protect your future. People think failure comes from a lack of talent. No. Most failure comes from scattered attention. From chasing 10 things halfway instead of one thing all the way. From switching between distractions so often that you never get deep enough to make real progress. You say you want change, but look at your life. Your phone pings and you answer like a servant. You scroll for just 5 minutes and lose an hour. You start a habit, then drop it for the next shiny thing. This is not ambition. This is self-sabotage dressed as busyness. A man is given a magnifying glass and told, burn this piece of paper with the sun. He holds the glass, moves it around, lets the sunlight scatter. Nothing happens. Hours pass. No smoke, no flame. Then he tries something different. He keeps the glass still. The sunlight stays in one spot, one tiny point of heat. And after a short time, the paper smokes, then bursts into flames. That's focus. It's not more sunlight. It's the same sunlight, aimed without mercy at one point until the result appears. Your life is exactly the same. Scatter your energy and you stay warm, but never catch fire. Aim it at one mission and you burn through obstacles. Every time you break your focus, you reset the clock. If you take 30 minutes to get into deep work and you check your phone at minute 25, you just destroyed that session. If you set a goal but keep adding side goals, you're not expanding your life. You're dividing it into weaker pieces, and the world will happily let you waste yourself like that. The graveyard is full of people who had the talent to succeed, but couldn't keep their eyes on the road. They swerved for every distraction. They followed every trend. They mistook movement for progress, and died with potential still locked inside. Focus protects your time from thieves. Focus protects your energy from leeches. Focus protects your mind from noise. When you are focused, you stop trying to please everyone. You stop explaining your every move. You stop saying yes to things that have nothing to do with your mission. Focus means letting go of 99% so you can give 100% to the 1% that matters. It will make you seem selfish to the unfocused. Good. Let them talk. Let them waste their hours while you stack yours into something unshakable. How to build unbreakable focus. One mission at a time. Write it down. Everything else is background noise. Time blocks. Give your best hours to your most important work. No interruptions, no excuses. Kill your triggers. Turn off notifications. Log out of junk apps. Move your phone away. End the open tabs in your life, both on your computer and in your head. People will try to pull you back into chaos. Friends will say, "It's just one night out." Family will say, "Don't take it so seriously." Your own mind will whisper, "Just check for a second." That second will cost you everything if you let it. If you want to win, you must treat your focus like oxygen. You don't give it away, not for anyone, not for anything. Without focus, discipline dies. Without focus, consistency breaks. Without focus, even your purpose fades, because your attention keeps getting stolen before it can grow strong enough to produce results. The average person never experiences their full power because they've never aimed it in one direction for long enough. They keep starting over, wondering why life feels like running in circles. But the truth is simple. Your results will never outrun your focus. Your one action today, choose one thing, one skill, one habit, one mission, and give it a ruthless, undivided month. No new hobbies, no side distractions, no just-for-fun experiments. 30 days of single-point fire. Do this and watch how much changes in so little time. Because scattered effort builds frustration. Focused effort builds empires. And remember, if you don't control your focus, someone else will. And they'll use it to build their dream while yours rots in the dark. So decide today. Will you burn or will you scatter? Because your future depends on your answer. Truth 5. Trust the universe. Listen, trust is not sitting on the couch and hoping. Trust is doing the work with ruthless consistency while surrendering the timing, the route, and the noise you cannot control. Trust is discipline plus patience. If you refuse to trust, you will quit 3 minutes before your breakthrough and spend the rest of your life calling that failure bad luck. You want results now, I know. But life doesn't pay on your schedule. It pays on proof. It pays people who keep moving when the metrics are quiet, when the audience is silent, when the gatekeepers ignore you, when the path bends and looks like a dead end. If you panic in the quiet, you lose the golden hours where compounding is invisible but alive. This is the moment the old you disappears or returns. Decide. You control your inputs, your practice, your standards, your effort today. You do not control the exact day the door opens, which person finally says yes, which video takes off, which email changes your life. If you try to control both, you will burn out. Own the inputs, release the outcome, repeat. That is trust. Here is the difference between wishful thinking and real trust. Wishful thinking says, "I'll wait for a sign." Trust says, "I am the sign. I'll work today and let results catch up." Wishful thinking prays and scrolls. Trust prays and practices. Wishful thinking asks, "Why is it not happening yet?" Trust asks, "What can I sharpen right now?" You will be tested. There will be delays, dry seasons, and long stretches where nothing seems to move. In those stretches, most people rewrite their dream to match their fear. Do not join them. When the world is quiet, grind your craft, protect your focus, keep your word to yourself, and let time do what time does. The universe is not your enemy. It is a mirror. It reflects your habits back to you with a delay. If you plant chaos, chaos returns. If you plant order, order returns. Not instantly, not loudly, but always. Imagine, a young pilot flies into a storm. Outside the cockpit, darkness, rain, wind, zero visibility. Inside the cockpit, instruments, altitude, airspeed, attitude indicator, cold, honest, unemotional. His body screams lies. You're level when he's banking. You're climbing when he's falling. Panic rises. His hands want to follow his feelings. But his instructor's voice is clear in his memory. In weather, trust your instruments. Feelings will kill you. So he glues his eyes to the panel. He breathes. He flies by numbers, not by nerves. Minutes feel like hours. He holds course anyway. The storm thins. The clouds split open. Runway lights appear like a line of miracles. He lands. Wheels kiss the earth. His hands shake with relief. What saved him wasn't luck. It was trust, obedience to the process when his senses lied. That is your life. The storm is doubt, delay, rejection, silence. The instruments are your routines, your promises, your schedule, your standards. Your feelings will lie to you in the storm. Trust the instruments. Keep your heading. You will see the lights. You say you want a new life. Then stop demanding instant proof. The universe does not negotiate with impatience. It reveals its doors to people who keep walking when the hallway is empty. Here is the threat. If you refuse to trust, you will cut your progress open every night to check if it's growing, and you will kill it with your own hands. You will jump from plan to plan, coach to coach, strategy to strategy, and call the wreckage trying everything. No, you were just unwilling to stay with one path long enough to let compounding appear. Impatience is how potential dies silently. Here is the promise. If you trust, you become calm, dangerous, and strangely lucky. Opportunities start randomly appearing because your preparation finally met the moment. People call it fate. You will know it was discipline plus time. Make trust practical and simple. Keep your appointments with yourself even when no one is watching. Ship the work when you said you would, even if it's not perfect. Speak your lines out loud, even if your accent feels heavy. Train when your mood is low. Clean your space when your mind is noisy. Read your plan in the morning. Write proof in the evening. You are not chasing a mood. You are building evidence. When doubt starts talking, answer immediately. I do the work. The timing is not my job. I hold my heading. The storm does not decide my destination. I trust my instruments. Feelings are guests. Standards are laws. Say it calm, then move. You are closer than you think, but you will not feel close. Most breakthroughs are quiet until the last second, like the runway lights after the storm. Stay with it. Protect the routine. Guard the hours. Refuse the noise. Let the universe do the math while you do the reps. Trust is not soft. Trust is savage. Trust is choosing the hard thing today without demanding a trophy tonight. Trust is building like a professional while the amateur still waits for motivation. Decide right now. Will you be the pilot who follows panic into the ground, or the pilot who follows instruments through the storm? Your dream is on final approach. Eyes on the panel, hands steady. Hold your heading. The lights are closer than they look. Truth 6. Discipline equals freedom. Listen carefully. Because if you misunderstand this truth, you will waste decades. Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you feel like it. That is not freedom. That is a trap. Real freedom, the kind that lets you live on your terms, control your time, own your choices, and build your future, is only possible through discipline. Without discipline, you are a slave. Not to a boss, not to society. A slave to your moods. A slave to your impulses. A slave to the easy choice. You wake up late because you don't feel like getting up. You eat junk because you don't feel like cooking. You skip the work because you don't feel like doing it today. And without noticing, your life becomes a cage built from 1,000 I don't feel like it moments. Discipline means you run your day. Your day does not run you. Discipline means you act based on commitment, not emotion. Discipline means your standards are stronger than your excuses. Without it, you cannot keep promises to yourself. And if you cannot trust yourself, how will the world ever trust you? The truth is, people respect results, and results only come from repeated intentional action. You might say, but discipline feels hard. Yes, it does. But so does regret. And regret weighs more. The pain of discipline lasts minutes. The pain of regret lasts a lifetime. Think of a river. Water is soft, gentle, flowing in all directions if you let it. But build walls around it, guide it, focus it. And that same water can turn massive turbines and create enough electricity to power entire cities. That's what discipline does to your life. Without discipline, your energy flows everywhere, scattered, wasted, evaporating into nothing. With discipline, you build channels. You guide the flow. You turn the same hours, the same days, the same energy into unstoppable force. The water doesn't lose freedom when you channel it. It gains power, and so will you. If you reject discipline, you are choosing chains. Chains of debt. Chains of unhealthy habits. Chains of low confidence. Chains of what if. You will become a prisoner in your own life, looking out the window at people who chose discipline years ago, living the freedom you could have had. The world will not feel sorry for you. Because the truth is, life always collects payment. If you don't pay with discipline now, you will pay with regret later. Money. Discipline with spending gives you the freedom to walk away from toxic jobs. Body. Discipline with food and training gives you the freedom to move, explore, and live without constant illness or pain. Mind. Discipline with learning and focus gives you the freedom to create, lead, and decide for yourself instead of depending on others. Time. Discipline with your schedule gives you the freedom to do more of what matters instead of being buried in chaos. How to build unshakable discipline. Decide who you are before the day starts. If you wait until the morning to decide whether you'll train, study, or work, your feelings will win. Decide the night before. Shrink the choice. Make the right action so easy you can't say no. Lay out your clothes. Prep your workspace. Remove friction before it happens. Use the 5-minute rule. When you feel resistance, commit to 5 minutes. Start. Once you start, momentum takes over. Tie it to freedom. Remind yourself every day. This is not punishment. This is the ticket to my future. Freedom without discipline is fake. You can do what you want right now, but if you have no discipline, your wants will shrink. Your options will shrink. Your life will shrink. Discipline expands your options because it builds the skills, the health, the stability, and the power to actually use your freedom. If you keep letting moods decide your actions, You will never trust yourself. And a person who doesn't trust themselves will always live in fear. Fear of running out of money. Fear of failing again. Fear of starting. Fear of losing. Discipline destroys fear because it builds proof. Proof that you can act. Proof that you can finish. Proof that you can depend on yourself no matter the weather in your head. Before this day ends, do one thing you don't feel like doing, but you know you must. Clean the room. Send the email. Do the workout. Practice the language. Write the paragraph. Not for motivation. Not for hype. For proof. Proof that you can choose discipline over impulse. Proof that you can be trusted. Proof that your freedom is worth the fight. Because here's the truth. The undisciplined will always serve the disciplined. If you refuse to rule yourself, someone else will. Choose discipline. And you choose freedom. Truth 7. Habits change who you are. You can tell me your goals all day, but if your daily actions don't match them, they are lies you tell yourself to feel better. Habits are not small things. They are the invisible architects of your future. They are the silent builders of your identity. They are the bricks in the wall you're standing on. Imagine a canyon. It wasn't made overnight. It wasn't made by explosions. It was made by water, dripping, flowing, moving, day after day, year after year. The water didn't have power in a single moment. It had power because it never stopped. It carved rock without even trying to be loud. That's exactly how habits work. At first, the change is invisible. You look in the mirror and see no difference. You write a page and it feels like nothing. You train one day and your body looks the same. But keep the water moving. And one day the rock gives way. One day you look back and see a canyon where flatland used to be. One day you see yourself, and the old you is gone forever. The threat. If you keep allowing bad habits to drip into your life, junk food, late nights, mindless scrolling, skipping the work, you are carving a canyon that traps you. It will feel normal to stay lazy. It will feel right to avoid the hard thing. Because you trained yourself that way. Your own habits will drag you back even when you want to move forward. The promise. If you choose powerful habits. Reading daily. Training daily. Speaking daily. Planning daily. Protecting your focus daily. You will rewire your identity. It will feel normal to be disciplined. It will feel right to chase your goals. Because you trained yourself that way. Your move today. Don't wait for motivation. Pick one habit. Tie it to the same time every day. Keep it so small you cannot skip it. And so consistent it becomes part of your DNA. Because habits are not just things you do. They are how you become. Truth 8. Everything adds up. Stop chasing the big miracle. Stop thinking success comes from one huge dramatic moment. Success is math. It is the sum of what you repeat. Every choice adds to your life's equation, whether you want it to or not. A compass on a ship is off by just 1 degree. The ship sails calmly for hours. Nobody notices. The difference is invisible. But keep going. And that 1 degree takes you miles away from your destination. By the time land appears, you're at the wrong coast. 1 degree felt like nothing. It was everything. The threat? That just one more cheat meal? That just one more skipped workout? That just 5 minutes of scrolling? They all add up. Not today, not tomorrow, but over months and years. They will deliver you to a place you never wanted to go. Your life will not collapse in one explosion. It will sink 1 drop at a time, while you tell yourself, this little bit doesn't matter. The promise. Every small, good choice counts too. One healthy meal, one page read, one speaking practice, one sale, one focused hour. Stack them, repeat them, protect them, and they will quietly change your entire destination. Your move today. Ask yourself, if I did this one thing every day for the next year, where would it take me? If the answer excites you, start now. If the answer scares you, stop now. Because nothing is neutral. Every choice is moving you closer or further from the life you want. Everything counts. Everything compounds. Everything adds up. Truth 9. The only limit is yourself. Your biggest enemy is not the government. It's not your boss. It's not your family. It's not your past. It's the invisible line you've drawn in your own mind. The line that says, I can't go further than this. Understand this. The world can only hold you where you agree to be held. Your ceiling is not built of concrete. It's built of belief. And every day you accept that belief, you reinforce the bars of your own prison. Imagine, a race car is built for speed. The engine roars, the track is clear, the tires grip the road. But inside the machine, there's a small device called a governor. The governor limits the top speed. Even if the driver floors the pedal, the engine won't go beyond a preset number. The road isn't the problem. The car's power isn't the problem. The problem is the limit inside. That's you, not life, not luck. You. Every time you start making progress, that inner governor whispers, slow down. You're not the kind of person who does this. This is too much for you. And you listen. You let off the gas. You return to the safe speed of the old you. Another image. Think of a thermostat in a room. Set it to 20 degrees Celsius. When the room heats to 21 degrees Celsius, the thermostat cools it back down. That's how your self-image works. Set it low, and the moment you start improving, earning more money, looking healthier, speaking better, taking more control, your brain cools you back to where it's comfortable. You call it self-sabotage. It's not sabotage, it's settings. The threat. If you don't change those settings, you'll keep living in the same small circle. You'll reject opportunities that are too big for your current comfort. You'll ruin your own progress to feel normal again. You'll spend your life watching other people live your potential. The promise. When you raise your internal limit, your life will rise to match it. Not instantly, but relentlessly. Because the world will eventually reflect what you accept about yourself. Say this out loud. I am the only one who can lift my ceiling. I am the only one who can keep it low. And then prove it today with one action that the limited version of you would never take. Because the road is ready. Your engine is ready. The only thing holding you back is you. Truth 10. The final decision. Change is not a slow fade. It's a sharp break, a clean click. One moment you're thinking about it, the next moment you've decided there's no going back. Understand this. Most people never change because they never actually decide. They say, I'll try. I'll start soon. I'll give it a shot. Those aren't decisions. Those are excuses with nice clothes. Picture a massive train rushing down the tracks toward a split. There's a lever. One pull sends it to a new track, a completely different destination. But if the lever is left in the middle, the train derails. That's what half decisions do to your life. When you say, I'll try, you leave the lever halfway. When you say, maybe, you leave it halfway. And every dream you had comes off the rails. Imagine, a dam holds back years of water, pressure, force, energy. Open the gate halfway and the water trickles, hesitates, stagnates. Open it fully, and it carves a whole new river into the earth. That dam is your will. Your gate is your commitment. Half open gets you nothing but frustration. Full open rewrites the map of your life. Indecision is still a decision. It's the decision to stay the same. Every day you delay is a day you drift. Drift doesn't feel like disaster, but it kills more dreams than failure ever will. Once you truly decide, your mind stops wasting energy on should I. That energy returns as momentum, and momentum can carry you through storms that motivation never could. How to make the final decision. Remove the escape routes. Delete, cancel, block, throw away. Replace if with when. Replace I'll try with I will. Replace later with now. Act before you feel ready. Say this out loud. This is no longer up for debate. I have chosen. Then take one action today that proves the decision is real. Not tomorrow. Not after you prepare. Now, because new lives don't start with noise. They start with the silent sound of a switch clicking into place and a train that will never again run on the old track. If this video shook you, don't just leave inspired. Leave different. Do one thing today that proves you're serious about change. And if you're ready for more videos that will push your life forward and improve your English at the same time, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Your next breakthrough could be one video away.